Hello everyone, it's clayrammage. We're back again with another Goodwill haul. This one is the Goodwill Bins Haul today. And so yeah, it was a fun day at the bins. Found a lot of fun little things, different things, unusual things that haven't found for a while. A lot of fun digging. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is something that do a lot of our haul videos of different things that we find for resale, for personal use, and even for gifts sometimes. But yeah, so if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button. And for my regular viewers, thank you so much for your support and hitting the like button. And let's just get right into this. So I'm going to reach over here first. One of the things I found was this. It's a clock plate. It's a plate made, in the shape of a clock. I believe it's Finnish is the language here. And I can't read it, but I believe it's Finnish because there's also in the same bin there are several other items that were, like this one is marked Finland, this beautiful little hand-painted trivet that somebody had hung on the wall. Just a little hanger. And there were some other items that I didn't pick up, but I picked up those two. Again, those are great items to be down at the Pink Elephant, because here in Minnesota there's a lot of Finnish, Swedish people up here, which is cool. And let's see, what else did we find? Lots of stuff. I found this vintage leather binocular case. This has, at the top it says Fasco Imperial. No, actually, what does it? Tasco, T-A-S-G-O, Imperial, Tasco binoculars. No binoculars. The case was made in Japan. It's marked on the bottom. Just a beautiful vintage leather look. If you have a pair of binoculars that would fit in there, it'd be great to store them in and just use to decorate. Otherwise, you could just have it sit out, decorate. It's got that great aged look that people like with leather. It's got some stains and wear marks, which is great. Another fun thing I found, and these are really unusual, and the shape of them tells me they're probably from the 50s to 60s. This is a Honeywell thermometer to give you your room temperature, and this is to give you the humidity levels in your house. So these are two desk accessories. This one's, on a stand that stands up. Now this one, I don't think was on a stand, although it could have been. The bottom is worn very well. If it was on a stand, you would, like this one is, it's joined there, you would think it would have some glue residue or something, but it doesn't. So I think they kind of sit like this together. And they're metal cases, and they're very heavy, so they're good quality pieces. I haven't looked them up to see what they may be worth, but they need a little cleaning. But I thought they were pretty cool. Another little thing I found was this little hand-painted fish. No signature or name or anything on it, so I just thought it'd be cool down at the Pink Elephant. And I saw this little vintage, almost purse-looking item, coin purse. But I opened it up and it turns out it's a vintage sewing kit. Look at that, isn't that cool? It's missing the thimble and I think the small scissors. But other than that, it's got the 4 threads and stuff. But I just love the checkerboard red and white material making it up. It's pretty cool. Good find there. Another thing my regular viewers know is I buy stuff in little lots and gather them up until I can make a big lot. One of those things is Legos. Found some Legos. I always make sure that they say Legos on them and they're not the generic brands. And these are marked Legos. Even found a little Star Wars guy in there. So I just keep making a pile, and then they don't cost very much because they're pretty light. So that little bag probably cost me 25 cents. But you get a big 5-pound bucket of them, and people pay you 50 to 75 bucks for them. So I'll do that. Found this little vintage print, and it's a chain, a chain frame basically that surrounds the glass, the picture, and then the backing. It does have a sticker on the back. It says Gallery Graphics from Noel, Missouri. But again, nice, beautiful little vintage print. Look great in a Victorian house. In a bedroom. Found this little stand, acrylic stand. I use these down at the Pink Elephant, which is an antique store that I have items at. I use these for display to raise things up, do multiple levels, so I can have more stuff. The more stuff, the more you sell, right? On this vintage purse, one side of it is a deep all the way to the bottom, and then the other side is short, like a little coin purse. So it's got two different sections in it. Vintage leather, in great condition. Leather is excellent, very soft, supple, and the clasp works great. So another great piece for the Pink Elephant. I found this little car. Usually I don't do too much with cars, even though I love little cars, but this is one of the race car, why can't I think of the name? Anyway, that you run on the racetrack. Remote controls. And this is a vintage one. Looks like a Buick Riviera vintage one. So I don't know if it works or not. There's no name on it. But I picked it up because those can be worth a little bit of money. Found a couple Norman Rockwell prints, boy and his dog. Just thought they were darling little prints. There are a couple others that were framed, but they were pretty faded and not in very good shape. These two were unframed and just loose in the bins, but in much better shape. So I picked those up. And I also picked up this item, not knowing what it was. And it's actually in a case. Calculator keeper, it's called. And it's for this. It's a clear glass calculator, solar powered. It is for putting on an overhead projector, and then when you're teaching your class, it'll show up on the screen and the kids can follow along what you're doing. But it doesn't appear to work. It's kind of got some numbers stuck, and I don't know if that's just because it's not getting enough light or what. But I just thought it was fascinating. I never saw one before, so I grabbed it. And then the case is awesome too, even if it's just for the case. I think it'd be perfect. Picked up a couple Hummel prints. These are the boy and the girl. These are nice vintage prints. So probably, $15-20 for those. That's what I expect. Another item I pick up one a piece at a time till I get a lot is these vintage handles. These are glass handles. I have several others of these. So I just build them up till I get 15-20 of them and then sell them as a lot. On this vintage angel, I think it's a homemade piece. Vintage cardboard angel, just cute vintage piece. Speaking of homemade stuff, I found this vintage napkin holder. Yep, made out of old can lids, block of wood, and some cutout candles. I just thought it was very darling. So that'll go down at the Pink Elephant, especially with Christmas coming up. That should do pretty well. Found some vintage cards, greeting cards. This one I thought was one of my favorites. So 1970s, right? Beautiful flowers, birds. Some others similar. Get well soon. There's another fun 70s kind of color. The pink and orange. And this was another fun card. I like that one with the snail and the little girl. And the multiple colors. Found this vintage can opener. It says Travel Bar on the top is the name. I just love the handle of it. It's kind of that horn coloration. It's plastic, but it gives you that impression of a horn, carved horn handle. So barware sells well down at the Pink Elephant as well. So it's a hot commodity, especially with more people staying at home and bars not as open or frequented as much, so people have their drinking parties at home. I found this bottle of perfume. It says bottle made in France. I love the tree effect on it. It's like a birch, kind of a birch tree effect. That's what it reminded me of. And there's a lot of birch trees here in Minnesota. I don't know if this brand of perfume is worth anything or not, so we'll have to look that up. But I just like the bottle. Found this vintage menorah, and it's marked made in Austria. I expected it to say made in India, but when it said Austria, I was like, oh, now I have a much better interest in it. So I grabbed it and brought it home. It's a brass piece, very nice. Vintage Christmas picture. This is that metallic looking piece. Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. You know, in a picture frame, so you can set it on up for your decoration or hang it on the wall if you want. That's pretty cool. The other thing I found was this box. It says Chicago faucets, and in it is, that's right, a faucet. This one is the hot water. It's just to go on those vintage sinks where your hot water and cold water are separate taps. But this still is brand new with the tag still on it. And the brass fittings, never used, ready to go. And I saw one of these sell with both the hot and cold for $120. So now I expect this to be $50 to $60 for this item, which was exciting. In the box, good stuff. All right, now I'm gonna start doing the fun item that I find in my hauls. This is the fun item in my hauls. Ready? Not only do we have the groom, we have the bride-to-be. Aren't those hilarious? Can't believe how many glasses I've been finding in the bins lately. So yeah, I had to get those. Just because they're so fun. We'll see what we can do. Also found this pewter plate. This is a Christmas plate. It's the poinsettia or poinsettia, and the holly and the bows. Here's the design. It's a Wendell August pewter plate, so made in Ohio. Nice plate. Then I found some fun, tons of prints and frames today in multiple bins. So I found these two vintage frames, small oval frames. These are made in Italy, and the only issue I didn't find out until I got home is that the bottom is broken off. They should have these little tops like these, but they're on the bottom. But I was like, you know what? You could probably just grind those off a little bit and you wouldn't even notice it. So I might do that. Yeah, those were fun frames. And then I found this frame, but before I show it to you, I'm going to take this picture out because I don't know who this kid is. And there we go. Kid is now out of the picture. Literally out of the picture frame. Oh yeah, that's the stock photo that came with it. This is just a beautiful metal frame. It's a Gottinger frame, which is a good manufacturer, good quality manufacturer. This may be a silver plated frame. It looks like it has a little bit of tarnish on it. It's not marked, but I just really like that style of frame. Very nice. Another frame I found, this one has a picture glued on the front of it. And that's this one. Another nice ornate frame. This is a resin frame. An old resin though, not a modern resin. And the print that's on there of our Capitol building is dated down here in the quarter of 1935. So, gives you some idea of how old that one is. And this piece I picked up just for the frame, although the needlework is very well done on it as well. It's a little basket of flowers, but I just love that frame. It's a plastic frame, but again, a nice vintage frame. So, kind of a burl walnut style. And then I found Winston. I found Winston Churchill in a mug. It's got a nice tall hat, nice big mug. It's marked Gus on the bottom. I'm not sure who Gus is, but yeah, found him. And then I also found Laurel and Hardy mugs. These are made by the Duncan Ceramics. They're dated 1973. So, fun mugs. There is just a slight chip off the paint on this one, and slight chip on this one as far as the paint goes. But again, you're not going to be drinking out of these. These are just for looks. But I thought they were a lot of fun. And then I did find another print. I just like this, the look of this print. And I believe this is a giclée print. Because it looks almost real. But it's not painted, it's printed. So, anyway. And last but not least, great find is this casserole dish. It is the Atomic Design Franciscan ware. Made in California. Sorry, I'm reading rather than talking. It's Franciscan ware. Here's the inside of the bowl. You can see it's got some spoon marks on the bottom, but those will clean out. It's in great shape. There's no chips along the edges. There is a little bit of, I guess you'd call them flea bites along the inside rim. But the lid is in excellent shape as well. No chips along the edge. It was definitely used and enjoyed, which is great, but it's in excellent shape considering the age. And this is the large casserole dish. They did have a smaller one. And so this one is probably like $60 to $70, at least what I could see online real quickly. So good finds today. I spent all total $39. Oh, I did have one other find, which this wooden frame. It's not much to look at, but I'm going to do this as a project. Set it aside for my winter projects. So I got an idea for that. But anyway, that's our haul for today. Thanks for watching. And this was actually my 4th take to get this video done. Many interruptions, but it worked. Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye.